Oh, Mrs. Jones, I hope I'm not disturbing you.
Oh, Luke. No, not at all. I was just taking a much needed break from all the festivities.
You must be exhausted.
Exhausted isn't the word for it. I think once I get home, I really will just collapse. I know people always say that, but I think I really just might actually do it.
I'm no expert on weddings, but I think you've done a great job.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, it's wonderful. Everyone had said so.
Well, I just wish her father had been here to see it.
I'm sure he would have been very proud. It was beautiful.
Oh, well, when he was alive, he was such a stickler for details. I can hear him saying now, Dorothy, you always look at the big picture. You've got to look at the details. You get the details right, everything else will just fall into place. Getting things just right. That was his motto. If the tiniest thing was out of place, you could count on Arthur to point it out.
I think he would have said you've done Kate proud.
Well, I hope so. Do you think everyone's having a good time?
Having a good time. They're out there dancing their heads off.
Well, that's good.
Where did Kate find the musicians?
She didn't.
Oh, did she ring up some wedding agency or something? If so, please can I get the number? Those guys are great. I would like to book them for a friend's do.
Oh, I can give you the number. I found them.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Oh.
I just knew that they must have been Kate's choice.
Why? Because they don't sound like they're playing for a bunch of middle-aged fogies.
Oh no, that wasn't that was
No. I was just having a bit of fun. Kate and I actually have the same kind of taste in music. Arthur used to always like to tease me about it. He would always say that I never seem to like the things that people my age should like. You know, it's been over 5 years now, but I just sometimes can't believe that he's gone. And especially in the last few weeks. I so wish you could have seen today. You know, I really think that he would have got a real kick out of it. You know, I wake up sometimes and I'll be thinking about something, nothing important a lot of times, just a little thing, something that will make me laugh, and I'll just turn to tell him, and it hits me that he's not there. But I won't see that sideways smile it would have when I told him something that he thought was funny, that he would just come out right out and laugh. And he would get that sideways smile of his. I miss that.
Would you like me to get you something else to drink?
Oh, no. I'm fine. As the mother of the bride, I think I need to keep my wits about me today.
You can relax now. The hard part is over. People just want to get on and have some fun.
Which is what you should be doing instead of sitting here with me.
I'm fine for now.
If anyone had honestly told me how stressful organizing a wedding was going to be, I think I would have packed my bag and booked the first flight to somewhere out of a cell phone reach. And just you wait, you have to do it one day.
That day, hopefully, is a long way off.
Oh, no, Kate wasn't sure you were going to come.
I wasn't sure myself, and then I guess I just decided that I really wanted to be here today.
Well, I think it's great the way that you and Kate have managed it.
Managed what?
You know, just managed to stay friends. Well, most people in your situation wouldn't. I mean, well, you were together for so long.
Well, we were kids for most of it, so that doesn't really count.
Yeah, but it did to Kate. I mean, she did get over it soon enough, but well, Luke, that doesn't mean it didn't matter to her.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Jones. I didn't mean to sound callous.
I know you didn't, Luke.
Of course, it meant a lot to me as well.
I know it. It's just that it seemed to happen so suddenly. You two were together 1 minute, and the next, Kate announces it's all over. You know, she never did get around to telling me exactly why you two. Oh, it sounds like they're about ready to cut the cake. I should go. Oh, false alarm. Now, don't laugh. But Kate and I arranged to have a musical cue to let me know when she's ready to cut the cake. She knows me well enough to know that I would flee at some point. And I'm just not good in crowds. But now I just can't quite remember exactly what the musical cue was.
Well, if you want, I can go in with you to keep you company.
No. I'm fine here. With the music, I'll just have to work it. And if I don't appear at the right moment, I'm sure Kate will just come and get me. But you go on in if you like.
I will in a minute, but I'm fine here for now.
Didn't Kate look lovely in her wedding dress? I told her to get it, but she kept saying it was too expensive. And it took 2 solid weeks of persistent phone calls on my part before I finally persuaded her in the end.
You know what Kate's like. When she gets an idea in her head, it's just so hard to get her to shift it.
Oh, he gets that from her father. Arthur was so good in so many ways, but when he gets something in his head, you just couldn't persuade him to see in any other way.
It's funny. He never seemed like that to me. He was just so much fun to be with.
Well, you saw him on the good days, which were most of them.
Yeah.
But he was only human after all, like the rest of us. And I guess like everyone else, he had his ups and downs, but thankfully more ups than down.
When I was little, I used to love coming to your house.
Oh, Luke. It's scary to think I've watched you grow up.
You and Mr. Jones always seemed so different from the parents of my other friends.
In what way, Luke?
Oh, I don't know.
Mm.
I guess just much younger. It always felt like both of you weren't really Kate's parents after all. Not really. Well, I mean, of course you are her parents, but oh, I don't know. I'm just sitting here talking rubbish.
No, go on, Luke. I'm curious.
I guess I mean that my other friends' parents were parents, end of the story. You couldn't really talk to them like you would normal people. They're parents. But you and Mr. Jones always just felt like Kate's older siblings. It sounds like rubbish now that I say it.
Luke, no, it doesn't. It sounds very sweet. Well, we always wanted to create a good atmosphere for Kate to grow up in. Both Arthur and I have been brought up in such cold homes, if you know what I mean. And I guess we just didn't want that for Kate.
I think you both achieved it. In all the time I've known her, she's never said one bad thing about either of you. She's so unlike my other friends in that respect. They're constantly slagging their folks off.
Mm.
But she's never done that. Not once.
Well, she was really close to her father and she took it pretty badly when he died.
She adores you as well, you know. I guess everyone does. What's there not to like?
Oh, Luke, you're ever so kind. I guess we've been lucky with Kate. We've always had a great relationship with her. And Arthur, well, he used to swear that she came out the womb smiling. I think she was always such a good baby in a way, I suppose. She's never really changed. She's bigger, but she's the same sweet Kate. You know, Arthur and I never did understand why you two broke up. We just thought that you two, well, you were made for each other. I mean, you seem to have been together since both of you could barely walk. We just assumed that one day you would get married.
Well, I guess stuff just changes after a while.
I was so upset the night that Kate told me.
Yes, Kate said you would be.
Well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I have told you a million times that you two were made for each other.
People grow up. Hey, things just change.
I know. Oh, but I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is that I shouldn't be saying this on Kate's wedding day, but I think you probably would have made her much happier than Tom would. No. Tom's a perfectly nice man, and I thought that you would be better for Kate. Now, God, now I've just said it.
Tom's a good guy, much better than me, and he's going to make a great husband to Kate.
Yes, of course. He will. And just being a good husband isn't everything. I mean, Arthur was a good husband, the best, but there were times that I felt that something was just
What?
I guess I felt that something was it was just kind of missing. I loved him. I did love him. I just felt it's just the silliest thing. I was supposed to cry at the wedding, not after.
Mrs. Jones, I didn't mean to upset you.
No, it's not you. It's just me being a very, very silly woman. Now, where were we? And when on earth is Kate going to cut the cake? It should have been ages ago.
Looks like she's having way too much fun dancing to even think about it now.
Oh, I knew it. Oh, I knew it. Kate has always been a bit of a party animal.
But isn't that what receptions are for? To enjoy yourself?
Yes, but you mustn't forget protocol.
Uh,
It's getting late and we're going to have to pack up soon.
Maybe you should go in and tell her.
Oh, no. I don't want to interrupt her having fun. After all, it is her wedding day. I guess she'll just cut the cake when she's ready. And I'll just have to be a good mother and sit here and just wait.
Are you absolutely sure you don't want me to get you anything? Perhaps something more to eat?
No. If I eat anything more, I think I'll just explode. No. I'm absolutely fine. But Luke, please go along in and have some fun.
No, I'll keep you company if you don't mind.
No. It's great having your company. I expected to be sitting somewhere in the corner on my own, surrounded by all of Kate's friends talking to each other. We don't really have a lot of close relatives to invite. Well, I guess Kate's told you this already. I was an only child, and so was Arthur. So poor Kate grew up without having any cousins or aunts or uncles.
I guess you can say she kind of made up for that by having so many friends. I haven't never known anyone who seems to know the entire world. When we were backpacking in Kuala Lumpur,
Hmm.
we were at this little market in the middle of nowhere, and Kate bumps into a school friend. Here we are in the middle of nowhere, and Kate is happily chatting to someone she's known since the age of 5.
Oh, that's great. Ever since she was a little girl, she always had this lovely kind of bond with almost everyone. She always had such a good heart, much better than mine.
I wouldn't say that. You know, I looked at Kate's Facebook page and she has about 1,000 friends.
No, knowing Kate, she probably knows most of them.
Yeah, I asked her about it one day because I was worried that she had all these strangers as Facebook friends. And you hear about all the identity fraud stuff that's going on, and people put all this stuff up in Facebook, not thinking for 1 minute that
Mm.
anyone would steal it. And they do.
Mm-hmm.
Working in IT, I think about stuff like that.
Oh.
Anyway, I was telling her I just didn't think it was such a good idea. But she said that she knew just about all of them. I think I can count the amount of close friends I have on one hand. And here's Kate bonding with half the world.
Yes, but Luke, you came from a big family. You had 4 brothers. You've already made a network of friends. Kate didn't have that. So I guess she makes up for that by befriending the world. The boys, well, she dated in the past, always seemed to have a problem with it. But you never did.
No, I thought it was kind of sweet, really, that she finds so much time and had all this affection to give all those people. I mean, they aren't just friends on paper. They're real friendships, and Kate always seems to manage to find time for all of them. It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
But Luke, that's what I mean. You seem to know her so well. I just felt that you two, well, could have been.
Mrs. Jones, Kate and I were just meant to be friends, that's all.
But why? You seem to just adore each other. Well, did you meet someone else? And because it's Kate's wedding, you thought best not to bring her along?
No, not exactly.
Then Luke, why?
Well, I guess it's because
Because of
nothing, Mrs. Jones. Sorry, but could we maybe talk about something else?
Oh, look, of course. You must forgive me. Katie's always telling me not to pry. She says that when I want to find something out, I'm like a dog with a bone, and I just don't know when to let it go. Luke, please do excuse me. I'm just rambling on here.
No, it's fine. It's normal for you to want to understand what's happening with your daughter.
Yes, but she's entitled to some privacy, and if you two don't want to tell me, then I will just have to accept it. God, is that the time? If they don't cut the cake soon, they're going to miss their flight.
Kate mentioned that they were flying to Paris.
Yes, and then Kate says that they would rent a car and drive down to the south, and they've rented a friend's house for their honeymoon.
How long are they going for?
Oh, just 10 days. Kate has to get back and work after that. Well, I told her that she should take some more time off, and she said she didn't dare since they just made 3 more people redundant in their department. But it just seems such a shame to go all that way for such a short time.
It doesn't matter. I'm sure they will have a great time anyway.
They will. Kate always loved that part of France ever since she was a child. We were lucky enough to buy a place there before the prices rocketed. Remember the time you came with us on holiday?
Remember? It was the best summer of my entire life. I was so touched that you and Mr. Jones wanted me to come along.
Oh, Luke. We've always thought of you as part of the family.
I always wanted to be a part of your family.
Luke, your family are perfectly lovely too.
Yes, I adore my parents and my brothers. It's just there's always seemed to be a special atmosphere in your home.
That's very sweet of you to say, Luke. And we've always loved to have you around. I guess that's what I was trying to say earlier. That's why I was so upset with you and when you and Kate broke up. I just thought that now you and Kate are no longer together, you won't be coming to the house anymore. I suppose I won't be seeing you much after today. Oh, thank God. I thought they were never going to get it around to it. Oh, good God, Luke, what on earth are you doing?
Kissing you.
Yes, well, I think I can see that, but...
You're the reason.
Reason for what?
The reason for me and Kate breaking up.
What?
It's because, Mrs. Jones, I have always been obsessed with you.
Now, Luke, have you taken leave of your senses? I'm old enough to be your mother.
That doesn't matter. It never did from the first moment I saw you. I guess I just felt it in...
You were 9.
It didn't matter. I just knew then how I felt.
The only thing a 9-year can be sure of caring about is perhaps wanting an extra portion of chips. I mean, anything else is, I think, fairly speculative.
Please don't make fun of me, Mrs. Jones.
Luke, it was just a bit sudden, I suppose.
I know, but I'm just being honest about how I feel. And I just know, that's all.
You know what?
That I'm in love.
Will you please stop saying that?
At first, I just thought it was a schoolboy crush. You know, the kind you get for a favourite teacher at school.
I've never had those kinds of teachers.
But then, as I grew up, I just realised it was a lot more serious than that. I just couldn't stop thinking about you. And when I would sleep over with Kate and we would be making...
I don't think I want to hear this.
I just couldn't stop thinking about you. So I decided that I couldn't keep going out with Kate if I felt this way. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to embarrass you.
You didn't embarrass me. Well, yes, you did. But I know you didn't intend to. It's just that I never would have thought that...
Mum, are you coming?
Yes, dear?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Jones.
I think in the circumstances, you should call me Dorothy.
I shouldn't have come, Dorothy. I just thought it would be the last chance to see you again.
Well, I'm very, very flattered. But Luke, you must know that this is... It's ridiculous. I mean, look at you. Look at me. No, this is...
Yes, I know, Mrs. Jones. I mean, Dorothy.
Now, let's just put this down to having drunk too much champagne.
I haven't had any champagne. Okay, Mrs. Jones. I mean, Dorothy. Anything you say.
Good. Now, let's just pretend that none of this ever happened. And we can go along and enjoy the rest of this evening. Shall we?
Yes, of course. Anything you say. Is there something wrong?
Mum, are you coming?
Yes, dear.
That was Love Bites, a play written by Beverly Andrews. Luke, played by Aruna Jalor, Dorothy, played by Sarah Dorset, and Kate, played by Jess Collett. Produced for radio by Creative Lions, with music by Sebastian Blake.